Welcome to another great fun-filled, fact-packed episode of Technical Timeout right here on the UEL YouTube channel. Week 6 is done, and Week 7 in the race for $1 million continues mañana. Well, we did see some of the lower bracket teams play better this week. I think I need to remind you all of a quote from the late, great Mean Gene Okerlund. Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. Boom. But there were some movers and shakers this week. Not everyone in the UEL is sailing the seas of mediocrity. Cause this ain't nothing but a G thing, baby. Two low def players, so we're crazy. UEL is the label that pays me. Unfadable, so please don't try to fade this. But back to the lecture at hand. I got one question for you, and one question only. Are you ready? Because it's time to break forth the rhythm in the rhyme. It's time to get down like a clown like Charlie Brown and turn that frown upside down. And it is time for the UEL to shine. So what do you say we get down to that UEL beatdown? I'm Logan Summit, and as you might imagine, most of my power is derived from this here mustache. It's true. And oh, by the way, in case you're wondering, I am 22-3 in my predictions this season. Not too shabby. But we'll get into that a little bit later. We've got a great show ahead of us, so let's get locked in. It's time for the week that was. Life moves pretty fast, and if you don't stop and look around, you could miss it. This week, the boss at Tekken asked the chicken boss, Kentucky Fried Chicken, to let the Colonel be an active playable character in the game. I don't know about you, but I'd rather see him in Mortal Kombat, because then you would have some crazy finishing moves, like the Colonel's 11 special herbs and spices. What is his special move gonna be? What does he take off his bolo tie and whips you with it? Finish him! And Blizzard, you know that evil video game empire with Darth Kotick at the helm? Well, they reportedly had a StarCraft, Overwatch, and Diablo adaptation games in the works. But then they decided to sue Netflix. Yep, Netflix stole their CFO, and they have gotten into a costly and lengthy legal battle, which has left those games in the lurch. Aw, did Netflix steal your girlfriend and now you're hurt? Make the games! And finally, the hawk to a girl, Haley, is back in the news, and this time, not for anything good. She is a certified millionaire, that is true. However, she is now suing the guy who made her famous. Yeah, that's right, the guy who interviewed her on the street. She's suing that dude. He made her famous, and now she's suing him. However, even with her $1 million and Jake Paul's help, she can't get a good lawyer. Because if you look at the law, the person who owns the footage is actually the one holding the camera. Crazy as that may be, but it's true. So that's who she needs to sue. And I get it, she wants the footage. She wants to own the footage that made her famous. But she's suing the wrong person. You can take the girl out of the woods and make her the 4th biggest podcaster in the entire world. But you need to dig up Johnny Cochran. Ask Jack Doherty, because he gives 0 Fs. Or maybe Logan Paul to help. Yeah, remember Japan? And now, it's time for the champ of the chump. And now it's time for the best and the worst from the week that was. Give me those highlights. And the champ of the jump is brought to you by G Fuel. Go to gfuel.com right now and use code Logan to save yourself up to 50% off all of your G Fuel needs and wants. All the cool kids are doing it, and so should you. The champ this week goes to Jekyll. 30-20 on the season, but he showed who had the big brain on Brad in Maelstrom and made sure to secure the win for his team.
If someone on his team is counting points, you deny them a bounty, deny them a point, and you ensure that you instead die to the storm. This is what I want to see. Yeah. He makes sure that they don't get any more points along the line.
And the chump this week, sad face, is the bots. They used 2 timeouts to fight Billy's limited edition controller. He was making players empty their backpacks. And you know what, the entire time? It was in his own bag, baby.
Of course, we have to stop everything to ensure that his limited edition Pink control. Notice, it's not just one control. It's a limited edition pink control. La Bamba took Billy's remote. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, Billy. So sad. And now it's time for issues. It's time we talk in private, because I've got issues. Issues is brought to you by Newer. Visit Newer.com today. Use code Logan to save 20% off pro gear at amateur pricing. That's right, Newer.com has all of your gear to be a true content creator. Visit Newer.com and use code Logan to save big bucks, baby. It's week 7 and we still have some naughty teams out there. Let's start with the Florida Shoguns. They had set up issues, and they were losing their mind when they won their first game, which I would remind you made the score 7-1. Yep, they had just lost 7 in a row. Settle down and know your role. Both the Shoguns and the Clique didn't turn in the correct lineups for Checkmate Showdown. Do better. Even the Reapers had setup issues, but that could just be jet lag from partying in the ATL. Cat went 7-5, not the 10-1 dominant performance he showed after the long flight home from China, but still a winning record nonetheless. Cutters went to Tier 1 this week, and he showed out at 11-2 on the day, showing you that it ain't no thing but a chicken wing. The Reapers got this in the bag. Forget about all the other issues the Cyclones are facing this season. They started NCAA with 2 delay of games, and then had to FFCTR because they were trying to log in under Titus's account, and the boss said no. Well, most likely his son shut you down. How you feel about that? Meanwhile, there was no lack of trash being talked between the winless windbags and your 3-time defending champions. Rookie Intensify said Cutters can't keep up. And I ask you, keep up with what? You're 0-5 and you personally went 2-9 on the day. Shh. After a dominating performance by the Reapers in Overwatch 2, Bosif said, well played. And Ricky Rock'em Sock'em Robot's retort was, nah, we destroyed you. It must be nice to live at 50-10 like Ricky, but as he'll tell you, he's simply the greatest. I mean, he did take out Silver in Tekken. Does anyone still think that was a solid trade? However, we may have found the chink in the Reaper's armor, though, and it is strategy games. But from my lips to Cat's ears, and you know they will be practicing. Like in any competition, there are 2 sides to every story, and the killer proved his namesake in the finals. Snappy had a sick double nade kill at the end of Halo, looking very much like the champ runner-up this week. The Reapers had a flawless round in Valorant, which is just sad. I mean, we are a pro league. Well, sad if you're the Cyclones. Hey, Rez, you are a true artist in Dead by Daylight. It was fun to watch, and Hollywood called it in the chat. He said, Rez as killer equals a win, and he wasn't wrong. Gurrens had a Tekken takeover, and the Paladins have Need for Speed on lock with one of the fastest wins ever. Now, Strix may be having a tough season at 19-24. However, he dominated in Mortal Kombat 1 and had an 8-4 day. Hopefully, that trend will continue. I am Herb, clutched up MK1, showing that when the team needs him, he's got your back. I did love to see the Cyclones taking some caster coaching and using the same skins in Fortnite. Skins equal wins, baby. And oh, Mr. B, don't kill your own team. Thought you got away with it this week, didn't you? I see you. Besides being an MVP contender, Jekyll showed what it means to be a true endgamer by taking Jected rivals by a mile, causing Speedy to invent vernacular. Jekyll is now known as Jectal. The third anarchist stepped out from his coaching position to take the Tier 7 spot on short notice. But did it help? Well, that remains to be seen. And the Ravens need to be asking themselves, should Wonk be playing this season? We talked off camera, and she was surprised that I didn't ask her why she wasn't playing this season. But I told her I suspected that she didn't want to play this season and wanted to let her players figure it out for themselves. But it may be time to dust off the controller and get in the game. And finally, Pizza Man did not play this week because he was sick. And I just wanted to say, get well, Pizza Man. We will see you next week. And now it's time to make some predictions. Now it's time to break out the old Magic 8 Ball and make some predictions. I am currently 22-3 this season. And in our Thursday matchup, we see the 1-3 Paladins facing off against Billy and the 4-1 Bots. The Paladins went perfect in setups last week, so if they can do it, so can you. Look, this is a matchup of strength versus strength. They're both big in fighting, but the Paladins must win for playoff hope, and they will need to fix their issues with shooters to get there. Could the Paladins catch Billy and the Bots sleeping? Well, the Bots look like they're going to take the second playoff spot in the Southern Conference, but the Ravens are right there, and they will need Mordecai to get back to their winning ways as they finished with a dismal 3-8 record this week after going 17-3 in the previous 2 weeks. I expect that the Bots will reign supreme. On Friday, we have my match of the week and my upset of the week. The 1-2 Blaze versus the 3-1 Ravens. This may decide the third spot in the Southern Conference. Blaze have a much easier schedule remaining, but they are a game back in the loss column to the Ravens. So if the Blaze lose, they'll basically be 3 games back. If the Ravens lose, they'll find themselves tied in the loss column and losing the tiebreaker. They also have a much harder schedule for the rest of the season. The Ravens were without Wong as she was living it up in the ATL with Ludacris. Hopefully having her experience and acumen will help the Ravens realize that this is a game they cannot afford to lose. I believe if Hollywood and the Blaze are going to show up this season, it needs to happen this week. This is a must win, and I believe Hollywood will have his team ready to do battle. I think the Blaze will show out and show the Ravens and the league that they are not to be counted out this season. On the Saturday edition of the UEL, we've got the 2-2 Click squaring off against the 0-5 Cyclones. Look, Chicken Tech cherry-picked his team, but the Click will need to lean on their Tier 5 standout and only champion Jekyll to keep this team on track towards a playoff spot. Will the Click choose to sit Carnage once again as he has the worst winning percentage on the team? While the Cyclones continue to struggle, with Bosif saying about the Reapers game, I quote, "We only lost by half their points, which is insane." That is a defeatist attitude for sure. They need to practice shooters, which they are 6-23 on the season, and racing games where they are struggling to find the pavement at 7-16 this year. I believe the Click have what it takes to send the Cyclones back to the drawing board and have them using their tiers to salt their fiery Cheeto. The Click got this one. And on the Sunday edition of the UEL, we find the bottom of the barrel, the 0-3 Wolves, facing off against the #1 team in the South. And they're looking so fresh and so clean at 4-0. As the Wolves have shown some grit, it may be a case of too little, too late, as they still have the Click and the Reapers on their schedule this season. The playoffs do not look likely. And this one should be a straight decimation of the pack to set them back to 0-4 while they ask their mamas, where did it all go wrong? The X-Gods got this one in the bag. And now it's time for 5 questions. I've got questions and hopefully you've got answers. This week, my guest is none other than the 30-20. Right now, Tier 5 for the Click. His name's Jekyll, but they changed his name this week to Jektel. Hey, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, Logan. Thank you for having me on.
Well, it's my pleasure to have you here. The way that you've been playing, literally, I said, I need to talk to this man because, look, you've got the best record on your team. But let's get to question number 1. Who besides yourself is in the hunt for the MVP this season? Because I see you got to be in the conversation. But who else do you see out there in the MVP search?
In the current MVP search, you're going to always have people like, you're going to have Kat, you're going to have Billy. Their names are always going to be in consideration. But a name that I would want to throw out is going to be, honestly, I'm going to throw out Bosif. Bosif has had basically been thrust into a Tier 1 position on a rebuilding Cyclones team and has taken charge. He has done everything right. And now the team just needs to follow up and back him up so they can start winning some games.
Well, I know Boseef's going to love hearing that. Somewhere at home right now, can you hear that? That's Boseef cheering right now. Yeah, they dropped me on technical timeout. He's totally stoked about it.
Yes, sir.
All right, question number 2. Casters brought this up. I don't know who doesn't feed these casters, but they're always talking about food. And I have the perfect answer to this question, which, by the way, I think is a pretty lame question. But since they brought it up, I have to bring it up to you. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
I really dislike that you asked me this question because no, it is not a sandwich. I understand it is a piece of bread that goes around, but it is not a sandwich. A sandwich is 2 individual slices of bread with meat in the middle.
All right.
That is a sandwich. A hot dog bun is together.
All right, so I beg to differ, and this is my explanation for you. This is my explanation.
All right, I'm ready.
All right, a hot dog is a sandwich like Kleenex is facial tissue. Kleenex is a type of facial tissue like a hot dog is a type of sandwich. Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah! Oh, I think I hit that out of the park. Come on.
I think that is a good response to it, but I don't think that's enough to convince me just yet. I still think a hot dog isn't a sandwich.
All right, fair enough. We'll let you have your opinions. It's a very subjective question, but this one may not be. Look, your owner is watching this show right now, okay?
Yep.
And I need you to look into the camera, and I need you to tell him what tier you should be playing at.
This is a question I do not want to have to answer. And I'm gonna be completely straight with you, Lewis. I love you. The tier I should be playing at is whatever tier gives the team the best chance to win. I'm not gonna be out here saying I should be tier 1, tier 2, whatever it is. It's whatever puts the team in the best position to win. That is where I go.
Well, you took a big pay cut so that Chicken Tech could put this team together. You guys aren't having the season that I think you'd like to have, but you, my friend, 30-20, best record on the team.
Yes.
I'm just saying tier 5 may be a little bit too far in the back of the bus from where I'm sitting.
I've had several people come up and tell me that. I'm sitting here completely fine with it right now. I'm still working my way through college, and I'm helping the team win by taking that pay cut. I'm okay with it.
All right. Question number 4. Now, you said you are still in college currently. What are the skills that you have learned from being a pro gamer in the UEL that have transferred over to your scholastic studies?
Honestly, being able to process information on the fly, being able to, so I'm a history major, being able to read a primary source document and able to digest and understand portions of it and then be able to regurgitation from understanding information has translated well from video games to the classroom.
And you know what? You'll love to see it because, when we were coming up, when I was coming up back in the day when I was a teenager with just a little bit of gold in a pager, look, I used to read Word Up magazine and the teachers would say, you'll never learn or go anywhere from playing video games. Well, video games are here. They are here to stay. Question number 5.
They're here.
Look, you are the only champion on your team and you did that with the likes of the Reapers. So I've got a question for you. You've got Hollywood. You've got Cat. They are hanging on by their fingertips on a ledge, and you can only save one. Who do you save?
I don't. I think I save Cat. I think I save Cat, and here's my reasoning for saving Cat. Hollywood, you are a great dude. Love you to death. But I save Cat because, one, he has more life ahead of him doing stuff for the UEL, doing things, being that ambassador. And Hollywood's probably going to be able to hold on longer than Cat. So I can pull Cat up and maybe someone else can grab Hollywood before he falls. That's my reasoning.
Well, I'm going to see both of them in just a little bit because they are in town with Titus. And I will let them know which of them you want to save and which of them you will let fall to their death. All right.
Sounds good to me.
That was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for being here, Jekyll. I appreciate YOU. And now it's time for the blame game, baby. You asked for it, and ask and you shall receive. Each and every single week, we pick a player from the league or a GM or an owner and make them blame somebody. Well, this week we're going to do it a little bit different because I've got a different type of player on the show. It is none other than the greatest player in the UEL. Trust me, he'll tell you in just a second. Oh, and he's on the Reapers, and he is a 3-time champion. Ricky Rock'em Sock'em Robots, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, it is my pleasure to have you. Now, normally we would play a clip and you would have to blame somebody on your team for whatever the badness that happened in said clip. But this week, Ricky, no. Nothing bad about you. The first player of the UEL to go 50-10. Show me that success.
Ricky Rockham, he won the finals of this game. He's been in high pressure situations. That's why he can wear a smile on his face, because at the end of the day, if you talk to Ricky, I guarantee you, if you ask him, he will give you a statement.
Oh, Ricky, you're so fun. You blow my mind. Hey, Ricky. Yo, that was just you getting down like a clown like Charlie Brown and definitely turning your frown upside down. I have to ask you, as one of the most successful players in the UEL who can't even get a driver's license yet, who do you blame for your success?
Look, it's either two people. There's only two people that are to blame. Myself and Damien, the cat. Because at the start of the team, it was just Baba Yaga. It was just me and him, basically. Only good two people. But now, we got more people, more players to play. And now, I'm the GOAT, basically. I play every game except sports games. Do not put me in a sports game, except Roller Champions. But to blame, it's either me and Damien all the way. No one else is doing Jack Dilly.
All right, so you're going to say that the Damien, a.k.a. the cat, he really helped you in this league get to where you are?
Yes, because he built the team up basically by himself. He's one of the best, probably is the best coach in the league, and he's also one of my best friends.
Aw, that's awesome. Yo, the Reapers have such a tight-knit community. I almost feel like you're the reason that there are no trades, because we all know we're going back into free agency at the end of the season, and I think people aren't trading because they want to build a team and a community like the Reapers, and they are trying to take what that gold standard that you've created for the UEL and parried it. And you know what? I don't know if you can strike gold twice. Can anybody beat the Reapers this year, or is it a four-peat all the way?
This season,
yeah,
nobody is coming close to beating us. I'm not gonna lie. Since the team switched around, Karma was the only New Moon Eclipse. I don't even know what they are now, but they were the only people who stood a chance against us. Now they're all split apart. No one's winning. It's about to be a wash in the finals.
All right, so I'm calling it right now. January 18th, we're going to see the Reapers versus the X-Gods. Tell me how that plays out, Ricky.
Yeah, I've been hearing the X-Gods are the best. I've been watching them. You know, they're doing pretty good, but they're not coming close to us. Our team is stacked. And by the end of the season, I'm about to know way more games than I do now. So the whole team's going to learn way more games. So it's over for them.
Well, with a 50-10 record, congratulations. You are by far rocking the league. Oh my gosh. Ricky Rock'em Sock'em Robots, thank you for being my guest on the Blade Game today.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, no, my pleasure. And now it's time for my hot take. Hot Take is brought to you by Newhouse. Visit newhouse.com today and use code LoganRadioRocks to save a little bit of that do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do on your next home decor, office decor, gaming chair. Don't buy them. Use an office chair. You think big bosses sit in gaming chairs? Nah. They sit in office chairs, and you should too. Go to newhouse.com. Use code LoganRadioRocks. All right. This week on Hot Take, let's talk about learning, because the league is obviously learning. The bottom of the bracket is moving closer to the top, but I need to remind you of this week's theme. Mean Gene Okerlund said, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. So let's talk about some of the lessons I learned while working at the worldwide leader in sports. Come early and be over-prepared. Jennifer Lopez has one of my favorite quotes of all time. She says, I feel my sexiest on stage when I am my most prepared. And I have never shown up for a sports or esports event and thought to myself after the fact, wow, I really over-prepared for that one. Being on time is late. Yeah, I was screwed out of a job because I was late 7 minutes twice to 2 meetings. I know, you're thinking, why did you come 7 minutes late to the second meeting? Well, I didn't mean to, but I was late twice, and it was 7 minutes each time. And I'll tell you what, I now come to everything 7 minutes ahead of time, and I consider that on time. And you should too. Now I want to tell you about a lesson that the late, great Stuart Scott taught me. Act like you've been here before, kid. So for the very first time I was checking into Mohegan Sun as a celebrity in a celebrity golf tournament. And this is like 20 years ago. They gave me and my girlfriend $500 in cash to spend in the casino. Now, I don't know what the look on our face must have been, but I got a hand on the shoulder and a whisper in the ear. And that whisper was from Stuart Scott. And he said, act like you've been here before, kid. That's right. Act like you belong there. And then you do. Go all in on yourself, because no one else is going to do it for you. Look, I didn't move 2,700 miles from Connecticut to Las Vegas to say no to opportunity. I say yes to opportunity, and I win. Each and every single time you say yes to something new, you are putting yourself out there. You are becoming a bigger and better person for it, and I believe in you. Never let anybody tell you what you can't do. It is up to you to show them what you can do, because it is about you. This is your movie. It's no one else's. You are the main character, the director, the editor. It's all on you. So go all in on yourself, and it is up to you to show everyone around you what you can do. And remember, I believe in you. You just got to believe in yourself. And that's my hot take. And just like that, it's over. Time flies when you're having fun. That was quicker than a June bug on a hot tin roof. I have no idea what that means, and neither should you. But thank you for joining us right here on the Ultimate Endgamers YouTube channel. You can catch a new episode each and every single Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific. That is 9 p.m. Atlantic if you're speedy, but Eastern for everybody else. Tomorrow, the race for $1 million continues, and we have a great week of action ahead of us. So get locked in, get strapped in. It's gonna be a bumpy ride as those teams try to rise up from the bottom and take those teams from the top. But the teams at the top, they're like, we are king of the hill, baby. We're gonna knock you down because we don't clown around. I am Logan Summit. This was Technical Timeout. Be good to yourself and be kind to others. Pay it forward, play it forward. Rock like a party star, party like a rock star. Smile strong, laugh loud, and last but not least, please like, follow, and subscribe so you'll know when we'll be back. Thanks for being here. We'll see you tomorrow for that hot UEL action. Get pumped up.